Okay, so the discussion question is, do I agree or disagree with Steve Jobs' view of the role of technology in future classrooms? And I can see that I agree with him in some ways I disagree. Where he talked about that it's not, technology is not going to save us, it's all about the person. I completely agree with that. I think that it will be the power of the teacher and how well they're willing to teach, and the power of the student, how motivated they are to learn and be an active participant in their education. I think that that will make all the difference. Just putting in new technology in different schools isn't going to do anything. It's going to make teachers that are not familiar with technology shy away from it, and it will make students not use it or not be able to learn it in an effective way. So technology in many cases can be wonderful, but it has to be used in the right way. And really, it's all about the person. It's about the teacher and the student, just like what Steve Jobs said. I One of the other things that I kind of agree with is when he talked about that there are some things in school that are not helpful to the kids when they learn, and there are some things that they could have learned at a younger age that they're waiting until later in life to learn. I agree with that. There are some things in the curriculum that maybe aren't so necessary for them to learn at times, but then I can see maybe that's just me looking at someone else's curriculum and saying maybe that's not important, where they could look at my curriculum as an English teacher and say, what's the value of teaching this literature? They're never going to use it in their jobs or their careers. And I would argue back that it's helping them with creativity and it's teaching them the art of literature. And America is known for its innovations and creativity. So if they're not getting experiences in that, then they're losing a skill. So I think that probably every person that's a teacher could say something like that about curriculum that people say would maybe be useless otherwise, because they just aren't familiar with the subject. And that kind of goes along with what I was thinking with whether some of the things that I disagree with Steve Jobs is that I feel like the more that I'm in the master's classes, the more I realize that I don't understand everything. And he is not an educator. He's coming from an outside background and he feels like he knows it all. Like if we followed his plan, then everything would work. And I can see that even just being in the teaching profession and trying my hardest, I don't know it all. And there's a lot for me to learn. And so I think that that's just something that I was really kind of bothered with. And I also felt that he undervalued the power of a teacher. Like he talked about how people would come and open new schools and they would work for very little money because they could teach what they wanted to. And it kind of made me upset that he would be so excited about having these people open up the new schools and not get paid very much for it, because their motivation would be different, where we really should be valued for the work that we're putting in. And so I don't know, it was just kind of the way that it was written. Maybe I took it wrong, but it seemed like he was trying to save the economy of wasting their money by having these underpaid teachers teach the curriculum in a different light. So, but I can see his arguments that maybe the curriculum does need to be taught in a different light, and maybe new schools would open up and amazing things could come from them, but value the people that are teaching that information for sure. So ultimately, I would say that I do agree with him in some ways. Technology isn't going to save us, but it really is the person. But there are other things that I would probably say I disagree with.